Hello everyone. On behalf of Dr. Manel Vallmajor and mine, I welcome you to an online training which I have started to develop because when I was teaching, students often asked me, Karma, this you're explaining, where I can read it. It was then I became aware that I had been practicing acupuncture for 30 years, but that more than 20 years ago, in addition to Anglo-Saxon authors, I came into contact with French authors and sinologists who, in my opinion, are very advanced in the study of classical acupuncture. After studying a subject, I realized that each author offers a personal vision of it, from their interpretations, from their clinical experience, but that is almost always partial. When I study what many authors say about a subject, a hologram is drawn, which makes sense as you study it and allows you to explain this training, which has taken you months or years to develop and integrate, in a much shorter time. And that's the idea underlying this online training. My suggestion is that if you're interested, apart from visualizing them, you can listen to them later in the form of a podcast, while perhaps you go on foot or by train or do mechanical work, which seems to me a very efficient and comfortable way to incorporate the knowledge, because the material will be dense, but it will have a lot of contents that you will be able to unveil in successive auditions. I hope you have at least half as much fun as we're going to have preparing the contents. See you soon. The Qijingbamai, more commonly known as extraordinary meridians, marvelous vessels or extraordinary vessels, are the most archaic group of energy channels in Chinese medicine. Their functions would be to preside over the appearance of life in the being and guide its development, constituting the foundation on which the rest of the meridians would settle. Chinese medicine conceives the energetic movements as the architects of both physical and emotional physiology, so that on these meridians would resonate the imprint on the individual of the experiences of the fetal period and early childhood. This entire formative stage is critical, since the emotional trauma suffered during this stage condition the person's vision of the world and, with this, his or her lifelong well-being. But it turns out that the cortex of the brain is not sufficiently formed to be able to elaborate coherent thoughts until the child is about 4 years old. This implies that the emotions of this early infancy in no way can be the product of ideas gestated in this immature brain, just as it cannot be the brain that remembers them in a conscious way. Therefore, it is pertinent to ask, where are stored those traumatic experiences that the individual is not even able to remember? Everything points to the fact that these sensations would be registered in the body, which would have its own memory, a bodily memory, and therefore in the meridians that operate in this period, those on which resonate the laws that made this body develop. The conception of Chinese medicine is supported by clinical experiences that show the coexistence of recurrent physical and psychological symptoms attributable to the pathology of the Qijingbamai in patients who had suffered early traumas of variable nature and intensity. In these cases, the symptoms diminished or disappeared completely after stimulation of acupuncture points related to the extraordinary corresponding to the altered mechanism. Hence, the great interest in delving into the individual resonances of this group of meridians.